It's my lucky day. My favorite golf analyst in the biz with us now. Always good to see my friend Michael Collins. The PGA Championship is underway. Michael, so good to have you with us. See, it's a little chilly out there in the Bay Area, and I know it's legit because I know you're from the East Coast, so you can handle that cold weather. Talk to me, Michael. Tiger tees off shortly, 11:33 local time to be exact. What are realistic expectations for Mr. Woods this weekend?
You got to remember how little Tiger Woods has played. He has put a new putter in the bag going into this week. So realistic expectations for Tiger Woods, and I know there are a lot of Tiger fans out there going, anytime Tiger tees it up, he can win. Calm down. If Tiger makes the cut this week, it's a win, okay? Seeing Tiger 4 days healthy is a win. Because you see me in this winter parka out here. The temperature just today is barely going to get over 60 degrees. Now, the good thing is the past 3 days we've seen wind up around 30 miles an hour, which has made it feel like it's in the upper 40s. Now, for Tiger Woods, when the temperature doesn't get to 70 degrees, if he has any kind of pause whatsoever in his round, well, there's the threat of that back tightening up, and that has been a big, big problem. The other thing for Tiger Woods is getting the ball in the fairway. The rough here at TPC Harding Park is brutal. And I mean brutal to the point where other players have taken irons out of their bags like Matthew Fitzpatrick and put in 9 woods, which is unheard of for PGA Tour pros, but that's the only thing they're going to be able to have to get the ball out of that thick rough. Now imagine Tiger Woods, a guy who's had 4 back surgeries, hitting it in that rough and then trying to muscle it out. You do that a couple of times in 50-degree weather, guess what? Your back might start hurting just a smidge. So realistic expectations for Tiger, because he's played so little golf, and because we even saw at Memorial, there was one day when his back just wouldn't loosen up. He made the cut, didn't play particularly great, and I think we might see that again this week. It's just Tiger getting some reps in. Yes, it's the PGA Championship. Yes, it's a major, and it's big for Tiger Woods, but because he's played so little, expectations should be lowered just a little bit.
So you don't got Tiger closing the gap on Jack this weekend, but there are a couple other people in his group that could. So of the 2 other guys, Rory McIlroy and Justin Thomas, which one of those guys do you think, given what you know about this course, which one of those guys do you think has a better chance of winning?
Everybody loves Justin Thomas coming into this week, especially coming off of that win, and he still has Bones Mackay. Phil Mickelson's old caddy is still on his bag, so that's a combination coming in on a win. I like Rory McIlroy, and the reason that I say that is because there are no fans. Here's the irony. No fans at a major championship helps Rory McIlroy and hurts Tiger Woods. Tiger, when he gets down, can feed off of the crowd, and once he gets one birdie, then they start pumping him up. Rory, on the other hand, played golf with Tiger at Riviera in front of a big crowd and walked off of that course and said, I have a headache, I need a Tylenol, and I think Tiger gives a shot and a half to the field every time that he tees it up because of the madness of the crowd. No, Rory, you give 3 shots to the field when you have to play with Tiger because you ain't used to it. But Rory McIlroy now this week for 2 days is going to get to play with Tiger and Justin Thomas, but no crowd. So he's not going to have to deal with the madness and the craziness. Rory can just play his game. And Rory saw what Brooks Koepka did to Tiger Woods when they teed it up together at Bethpage, and now looks at that going, you know, if Brooks can drop the hammer on Tiger, I know we're Nike teammates, but if I got to step on your neck, I got to do what I got to do.
Michael, let me get to another one of his rivals here in Phil Mickelson. He finished 2nd last week. How likely is Phil to be in contention for the championship this weekend?
Oh, Phil Mickelson. Unlikely. Phil played just okay last week, and just okay. But coming into a major championship like this with the way that the rough is, this is another example of why not having a crowd hurts a player like Phil Mickelson. When Phil gets wild off the tee, he hits it and sprays it to where the crowd is. Now, the good news when that happens is the crowd tramples all that big rough down. So normally he gets a pretty good lie. Well, with no crowd, the superintendent, who I just saw a few minutes ago, is looking at these guys going, well, I've done all I can do, and just had a smirk on his face. So a guy like Phil Mickelson, when he gets wild off the tee, he's going to hit it in places where normally the rough would be trampled down, and now it's not trampled down. guess what? It's going to be some trouble. So, Phil, as much as I would love to see him get in contention, I don't think it's realistic.
Yeah, Bryson DeChambeau is another guy that I'm interested in hearing your thoughts on. So he used the quarantine to get swole, and he is now Muscles McGee DeChambeau, and he's going at it in a more aggressive way than he had in the past. How do you think that pans out for him on this particular course?
He's the one guy who's the biggest curiosity to me, because if he can hold it together mentally, he's going to be very dangerous. But what we've seen the past couple weeks out of Bryson is that when one or two little things go wrong, he'll have a meltdown. And that meltdown causes him to not only put himself out of contention, but sometimes send himself home for the weekend. And so that's one of the things I think he's still trying to figure out with this new body and being able to hit the ball as far as he can. Now, the good news for Bryson is as far as he hits it, if he gets into trouble, he's going to be so far down the fairway close to the green that he's going to be able to hit these clubs and muscle them out and put himself on the greens and give himself opportunities for birdies. The question is, when that one bad break happens, does he have a meltdown or does he stay cool? I mean, he was supposed to have 3 weeks in a row press conferences, and he blew them off all 3 times because he knows things in the media right now for him are not going well.
Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming, sports, and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.